Welcome to Rules of Villainy, episode 60. 3 new trading card game players quest and challenge their way to the competitive top tables and discuss their opinions on Disney's Lorcana. This evening, as always, we'll be covering the latest news in Lorcana, answering your questions, and going over the latest developments in the metagame. I'm Villain Vince, joined as always by my two co-hosts, Villainy Andy and the Mayor of Lorcana himself, Brad. How's it going tonight, gentlemen?
All right. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm super anxious. It's like when you're going to Disney World. You know?
You're anxious for the Dutch Grand Prix this weekend too?
Oh my God.
All right, let's just start over from the top again. No F1. Remember the rule. No F1. Let me change the board. 0 days since we last had an incident about F1.
Actually, a lot of news at F1 this week.
Anyway.
Cadillac F1 has announced their 2 new drivers this Sunday.
How are you doing, Brad? Anyway.
And my favorite team, the Papaya team, has an official new sponsor. They're now the McLaren MasterCard Formula One team as of 2026 going forward. They're going to be a named sponsor team.
Nobody cares.
Just lost all our listeners.
Nobody cares.
Well, this is the week before the set drops too. Like people are just already into the Fabled world, and they're like, "Yeah, we can do what we want." Let's talk about movies. You guys seen any good movies lately? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, don't answer.
I rewatched the Goofy movie.
I need to see that again. It's been so long.
I do need to watch that. I was actually not totally seriously watching the F1 movie right before we start this.
Oh jeez. I was napping. You guys are lucky I woke up.
I was grinding. I was grinding decks. I was studying cards. I was, they were just flying past me in 3D.
Yeah. Is Kirsten trying to get you to convince you to go to Denver for the PPG?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it yet. That's actually a good question.
Good segue into the news.
Yeah.
Right. Because it is it is first North America's CCQ, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I didn't expect that, but it was one of the events that I was interested in going to, and like Gen Con, I never pulled the trigger on it. Now I'm a little regretful that I didn't, because it's 2 weeks away, and there's no chance that I am going to make up my mind now and drive all the way to Denver for a big tournament a week into Fabled, where I have no idea what I'm doing. So
what if I told you that ROV Uber Lyft? I couldn't think of a good pun. What if I told you that I would drive you? I'll drive you to Denver, and you know that rain or shine, we get there. Okay.
Yeah, he told me. I heard all about this. I've
done it twice now.
This. Yeah. Andy is the weather guru when it comes to driving. Apparently, that's not the right word to use.
He trusts the Tesla. He puts his life in the hands of the Tesla autopilot.
Kirsten won't.
Tornadoes, no big deal. We'll just drive right through them. They ain't gonna pick up this.
I feel
car.
like Kirsten has to be totally used to it by now. She's probably every time she gets in the car, it's maybe the last, but whatever.
Yeah, it might have a mind of its own. It's not the safest thing, but we have fun.
But that's right. We did say goodbye to the Reign of Jafar as we enter into this new Fabled era. But before our last parting words, we did this past weekend cast it All for One games. I believe there's a 1K event for the Reign of Jafar that we cast it on Saturday in Peoria, Illinois. All of us made the journey up there, Brad.
There's one for all games, Vince.
One for all. I'm sorry. We know you can't trust me with names. It's really good that Fabled is one word and not 3.
Yeah, you can't really mess this one up like Return of Jafar.
Someone wrote it down wrong, and Vince read it like Anchorman style. Ron Burgundy.
Well,
over here.
I no. The thing is I'm the one who wrote it in the show notes, so I had it wrong all along. Because we know when Whisper Upon the Well out later
Jesus.
this year.
Stop it.
Wishes
when
in the
you
well.
whisper upon a well.
Wishes in the wells. What? The new Snow White theme song.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so Brad played. Andy and I cast it. You did cast a little bit towards the end, Brad, as well.
Should have cast
And
the whole time.
we also
honestly.
Kirsten also
Sheesh.
cast the final round. Sat down like a pro, which is great.
Honestly, yeah. When I was going back and timestamping the video, I already called it out in the Discord, but just to give her more props more publicly, that like, yeah, when I was timestamping the video and she sat down for the final game, she was a natural, man. Just like, and I know you guys have been doing it all day and probably pretty tired, but like she just, sat down, was completely natural and was really pleasant to I didn't watch the whole match yet, but like just the opening minutes of it, I'm like, oh wow, she's just like, she's into it. She's got it. So good for her. I was really, really happy to hear that. Maybe we'll see more Kirsten
That makes
casting in
sense.
the future.
You only watched the first couple minutes of her casting. She fell asleep like 6 minutes in, and I had to wake her. I'm joking.
How do you fall asleep? How do you fall asleep in a riveting match that she casted, man?
We were all
Amber-
very, very tired.
Yeah,
we were exactly. I walked in because I didn't realize the match had started, and the plan was that I was gonna do there, and then I saw Kirsten. She's like, "Do you want the seat?" I was like, "Nope, it's yours.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've been streaming nonstop all day. Let me get a break." Because I think Andy can attest to this that it's hard to be consistent with the energy when you're casting every match over and over again, especially when you see like very, very similar matches. Like, I don't know how many times I can say, the same thing over and over again and make it interesting.
There's only so much excitement you can have for each Chernobog's followers that comes on the board, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I think
Which that card's no longer going to exist. Well, not even
the whole
core
bog.
constructive.
the whole bog is not around.
So no confusion there.
But I do think part of it is like one of the toughest things I find with casting is staying like excited about the game when it kind of feels over, but there's like still lots of game left to be played, and that can be rough. It'd be rough to have to cast one of those. Feel like you're kicking a horse when it's down.
Yeah, it really does. It was also, we had an unusual amount of very quick matches during that. So it's like we do it and it's like 20 minutes in, it's like, oh, well, this match is over. And it's like, so Annie and I would then vamp for a little while so that people weren't on a like be right back screen for like another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was a kind of a challenge. I mean, the later matches did start to take a little bit longer, which was nice. And that final match, I think, went to all 3 games and down to the wire there. So you definitely should go check that out if you haven't already. And like you said, Brad had timestamped those. So that's great. And then not this weekend, but next weekend, we'll be casting again. But this time from Impact Gaming Center in Fairview Heights, Illinois, on September 6th for a 1K tournament. Is Fabled's going to be, Fabled's going to be legal there, right?
I believe
Yes.
so. It'll be the first big Fabled tournament in the St. Louis area. $1,000 in cash. It is one of the friends of the podcast, Nettie and their husband are moving away. So they are throwing a big going away party, and what better way to do that than have a 1K tournament, right? Like that's awesome. So a huge shout out to Impact Gaming for hosting this and allowing us to come by and put on another stream for you guys. We had a lot of fun doing it before, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it now.
Yeah, they've got such a great setup, and I'm always excited to cast there as well.
You might also say that, like, oh, but there's a CCS stream going on that day, a Charlie's Collectible show. You might also say, oh, but there's an Ink Open tournament that same day as well. To that, I say, don't watch them. Watch ours instead. It'll be a lot of fun. We really appreciate it. Thank you. See you there.
It's just in Rules of Villainy barred from each of those events.
Well, my thing is we're ever going to gripping commentary, the excitement of mislabeling cards when they're being played at critical moments in the game. And it's really only here at Rules of Villainy. We really do appreciate it. And we do hope you join us, even if you're just popping in from tournament to tournament. We hope to have some pretty great analysis. We're very excited for Fabled, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in our main segment about the stuff that we've been brewing. So please join in on that. And then not that long after, a couple weeks later here in September, we've got the mayor himself going up to Detroit for the Glass City Showdown Fabled weekend on September 27th and 28th. And I'll say this, you gotta watch it, because I tell you what, the mayor is not only going to be the best caster of the group there, he's also the best player of them all.
Oh, get out of here.
1418th at Seattle.
Don't you forget it.
You did better than that in Chicago, though, Brad.
I know. I used Seattle because it
that's
was
the joke.
funnier. I could have
that's
used
the
like
joke.
top 300 Chicago, but then it looks like I'm
were
actually
top
trying to
300?
sound good.
That's pretty good.
I just
something like that.
just
But
all in jest
the
there
whole-
to be clear.
Yeah,
You've
the
got
whole
over
the whole
30.
joke. Yeah, the whole joke was, I'm going to use the worst one, which maybe I should have used Atlanta, but it doesn't matter. The actual winner of Seattle is going to be casting with me. Luke Wonderland will be there, as well as Drake Dakota from Legends of the Inkwell, and then
From
Mr.
Dakota and
So
Josh?
Shiny. I mean, what? That's Drake and Josh. All right,
I
I
know
see what you did because I screwed up. We are on one today, guys. We are ready for Fabled. But yeah, then Mr. So Shiny, JD, the robe guy as well. All four of us will be hopefully bringing you some exciting Disney Lorcana commentary over some great games. 45 people signed up for Saturday now. I think another 30 for the 5K on Sunday. I even think, if I remember correctly, the top two people in the 8K on Saturday get a first round bye in the Saturday or the Sunday tournament.
Ooh,
if they should they choose to do both of them. Yeah, so
Hotness.
yeah, very, very cool. Lots of exciting things there.
Richer.
And really excited to see the turnout. It's 45 people now, and who knows what's going to be in a month. The weekend of September 26th, it's going to be huge. I can't wait.
Yeah, and you can still go and register today. So you should do that if you're going to be in that area.
We can still go. We can still register. We just drive nonstop overnight to
after a concert. Yeah, right.
After a concert. Yeah, we just rock out and then we head straight there.
I'm just gonna say, what are the odds that it gets canceled yet again?
Stop it! Don't put that on him.
I'd be so mad. I would get in the car and I would drive. I would just angrily drive straight to Glass City Showdown, featuring the mayor.
And
there's also going to be an artist there, right?
Yeah, Christian Romero, who you may know just recently as the Jafar enchanted artist, as well as the promo one. Participation. I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk tonight. It's been a night. But the Enchanted Diablo, Enchanted Genie from Chapter 1. Chapter 1. I just said Chapter and Capital
1.
I don't know what's going on. But all kinds of great cards.
Brad from State Farm.
Brad from State Farm.
I just want to say,
a red shirt.
for the audio listeners, I just want to say, the reason you probably heard that audio clip that I'm going to add in post is because Vince's camera autofocused on a card on the first try. It was
I didn't even see him hold it up. What was it?
He held up the Jafar you were talking about.
Oh,
the
okay, yeah.
Jafar.
Yeah.
The card you couldn't pronounce.
Apologies.
We're ready for the new card. See,
You're totally
podcast runs
fine
on Lorcana energy, and we need that Fabled to come out, and we need to, like it powers us. Okay, we'll be back next week, hype as can be, with some new cards.
Another event though upcoming though before the release of Fabled is we have the Impact Gaming Center Fabled Set Champs Extravaganza. That is not its true yet name. We haven't fully
Working
named
title.
it, but a working title on October 4th, again in Fairview Heights. Now this is an exciting tournament because we are co-hosting this as we're basically working with Impact Gaming Center to run a very special set championships. And there's a very, very special prize for first place. And I know you're thinking, yeah, I already know what that is, Vince. It's a Maleficent Monstrous Dragon playmat and Maleficent Monstrous Dragon like enchanted card. And you're right. That's true. That's absolutely true. But there's more. But wait, there's more. As
There's
they say there's more.
Is there
What
more?
possibly
Andy.
more could there be?
Well, I believe there is Elsa, Spirit of Winter, from the first chapter enchanted card on the line for the first place winner of the
Oh
set
my goodness.
championship.
That's absolutely
Can
crazy.
can you believe that? But you know what? There's more. There's even more. Because here's the great thing, because it's a special Rules of Villainy tournament, we have for door prizes and raffles a whole bunch of special prizing that's going to be given out.
I think we lost you there, Vince. Say that again. From the
You
rules
lost me.
Yeah.
Oh no. The Rules of Villainy, we're going to have a whole bunch of special prizing given out in raffle style.
Our patented
we've done this
ticketing
before.
system. So
I know.
We're no matter what, every game will matter. You will have a chance at winning some amazing prizes. All of the Set Champs promos, some of the Set Champs play mats, all of the things that you've missed or you didn't get a chance to participate in or unfortunately didn't win. You will have a chance at some of those. We have some banners, like these fancy banners here. We have some of those that will be available in some way. Enchanteds, like so many enchanteds, just like dripping in enchanteds. We're actually gonna take all the enchanteds and we're gonna sew them together and make an enchanted robe that you can wear.
I mean, here's the thing: if you don't yet have a playset of Hero Hamada enchanted cards, or a playset of Jafar cards, or potentially a playset of Scar cards, and you want it, this is the opportunity you have.
There's a lot of them.
We had last time we did it. Last time we did this, somebody walked away with an entire playset of the Mirabelle Magic
That's
Ball.
what they wanted, and they went for it. And they didn't even win the tournament. That person didn't win the tournament. You don't have to win the tournament to get some of these prizes that you want, which is really what we want to make happen. But Set Champs with what is arguably, it's basically a 1K. We're basically doing a 1K plus Set Champs, but we can't offer the cash. So we've got, what's the next best thing? And Elsa Enchanted.
But arguably, honestly, the cash, immaterial. That Elsa is
you could just buy the Elsa Enchanted with the cash, right?
Shh. We don't
There is no
like
cash.
this. We don't need to
We're
tell-
just cutting out the middleman because that's what you would have spent the cash on anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that Elsa Enchanted? So boom.
But you know what though? You can register now. It is on the Ravensburger Play Hub right now that you can register today, and we hope to see you there. And you should come. You should come because it's a Rules of Villainy sponsored tournament. In conjunction with Impact Gaming Center, and we will be live streaming it. So if you can't come and you're not playing at a Set Champs later, or maybe you just want to watch it later, you can watch it on YouTube right here at Rules of Villainy.
Maybe
and before,
you know what? I just thought of an idea. Maybe we find a prize for someone who's watching at home. Maybe we find a prize that during the stream, someone who's watching will be able to win. I don't want to promise anything because I don't know what it is, but I think we could probably dig something up, right, guys? Probably find something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we get like a one of one special edition coffee mug.
Whatever it is, maybe
Rules of Villainy
maybe
logo.
we'll find some,
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe it's a whole television set. That's how they're watching it.
a play set of television sets
Television sets.
signed by the mayor.
Oh my god!
Yeah, a good job included. And then, but an event that is definitely much more planned out as of right now is an event that the mayor is hosting at Game Night on Monday. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Monday, Labor Day, September 1st, we're having our pre-release event for Fabled at Game Night. It is going to be our traditional sealed formats where we have a cap of 16 people based on the product allotment that we have currently. But that means that 16 people are going to play for 6 packs, $35. Those 6 packs, you know how sealed works. You build a 40 card minimum deck and you play a Swiss game of Lorcana. And I am talking like a bozo today. I don't know why I can't put words together, but first place is going to get a choice of the playmats that are released this set as well, which is Mufasa and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. But yeah, every set so far that I've hosted, yeah, you're eligible to play. So good luck to you.
The 2-time. That's what they call me, the 2-time. We always win the game night sealed. So I'm coming.
Yeah, but the last time
I'm coming for another one.
Kirsten won.
That's why I said we. Yeah. I don't know. I could go look, but it's not important. What I'm hoping you're not scaring people away with your streak here, we usually cap 16 people, and we have a great tournament. Last time we got Vince to actually play instead of run it, which is always great. So maybe this time you'll be sitting around with a bunch of the rules of Villainy and get your chance at a playmat and some really cool cards.
Hey, look, I'm not scaring anyone away. I will just say I've given away the playmat every single time that I've won. All right. I'm in for the glory, not for the prizing. So there's no reason to be scared. We have a ton of fun there. And even if you don't win,
just
maybe you win.
I just want to let our listeners know the reason though they give it away is they already bought it previously.
Yeah,
so
I'm not
it's
greedy.
always been a spare bet.
I don't need another one. I'm not greedy.
That's how I know Kirsten won it last time though, because last time was my birthday, and so she gave me the playmat for my birthday, which was very kind. So, I like it. I play on it a lot. Let's move on to Constituents Corner.
Sure, I got a really easy one here. Well, depending on what your answer is. It could be easy, could be not so easy. But for me to read it to you, it will be easy. And I'm going to get off of that right now. Here we go. From Paul, he asks, "How are you feeling?" It's nice that somebody is asking about our just our general
emotional well-being.
Emotional well-being. I appreciate you asking, Paul. I'm okay. If you're this far into the podcast and listening to me talk, I sound like I'm not okay. And it could be argued, but no, I'm excited. I'm excited for Fabled. For the first time, I have basically all my cards organized in months. Basically everything unsleeved, but except for what I played tonight, and really curious to see what I get and what I can build with it. I have no idea. I just started thinking about today, like, what do I want to play this set? What I've been practicing this last week was mostly just because I could build it with the cards that I have now, but I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm really looking forward to this launch weekend and how the game changes. I think it's going to be really exciting to see all the things people cook up.
Someone clip that. Brad says, "I have no idea what I'm doing." Just clip that part right there. You don't need any of the other part. Just that part.
Yeah, that summarizes it, right?
I'm joking, Brad. How am I feeling? I'm feeling anxious. Like I said earlier, it's like Disney World, right? Like it's Friday probably when you're listening to this, maybe Saturday, maybe later even, that's fine. So you probably already have some Fable packs if they actually exist and they're out there. But you know, I'm ready to open packs, honestly.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm certainly excited. More excited. I've gotten more and more excited over the time. Like when Fable was first announced, and it was announced that it was such a large reprint set, and like we were, they had said it was going to be about half, and then we learned that it was actually well more than half reprinted cards. But seeing the content creators out, I will just say again, not us. That were opening the product it really got me excited, especially like the epics and the enchanteds in the set are just so pretty. And the fact that like it seems like the epics are going to be a lot more common than I think we originally expected to talk about. Like, I think originally we had said maybe, anywhere between 1 and 2
Per
a
pack.
case, and it seems to be now that it's like 1 to 2 per box. Certainly feels like cracking a box open is a lot more fun, and they look gorgeous. And also, even though like I know I was super hypercritical at the beginning about like Ravensburger not having new artwork for the previous sets, I think I've come around in a few ways. One is it allows new folks to get those cards and to kind of celebrate the first chapter, but also seeing those like legendaries, especially of the reprints with the new kind of like raised little, I don't know what they call that like glazing they put on it that kind of gives it like a little embossed feel, but it's not embossed.
Crispy cream layer.
Yeah, they look
Actual
really,
sugar.
really cool.
Yeah, it's actual sugar. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna call copium on that a little bit, Vince. I still want new art. Don't get me wrong, Ravensburger.
I mean, I do.
Let's not
I do.
make this like a thing where we keep the same art. And I don't think they're going to. They've said that.
No. I 100% agree with you there. I don't want to see this repeat it, but I do think it is nice to see some of these old favorites in
It's a consolation
like
prize.
kind of a nicer. Yeah, it is certainly nice, and I can live with it. I mean, we're gonna have to live with it. Next question.
From Gary. He was really excited to ask this. I talked to him on Monday night when he came to play. He asks, "Are monocolor decks viable yet?" And I told him I know exactly what Andy would say. So let's see if I'm right.
You say what Andy would say. I feel like this is kind of it's objectively correct answer. Like there is a solid answer to this, and the answer is no, and they arguably never will be. The game of Lorcana is designed for 2 ink colors. If there is an opportunity for you to play 60 cards from one single ink color that are that good, that there's not a single card in any other ink color that could possibly be better than any of the cards you're playing from your monocolor deck, then I think the game of Lorcana is a little bit broken at that point. And I don't think we're ever going to get even close to that. I mean, you might argue that like we've seen decks that have maybe 16 cards, 12 cards from one color and mostly from another color. Amethyst gets pretty dominant there, but I think it's fundamentally not part of the game of Lorcana's design. And if we ever get to that point, Lorcana's just not
that color's
doing good.
in every deck. Yeah.
It is every deck. If it's a monocolor deck, then it is every deck. Then 5 colors in the game are just completely worthless. That is the exact opposite end of the spectrum of what Ravensburger likely wants for this game. So the more cards we get, the more viable monocolor will be as like a fun format in the kitchen table, or maybe like a fun thing where, when we have like 20 sets out, you can definitely build a very reasonably competitive Infinity format deck with just one color, but it not in a reasonable meta.
Let me reword it really. Unless Vince has something to add, real quick.
I mean, I think I 100% agree with Andy.
Same, yeah.
The only thing I would I think add to that is not only do I not think it's fine, I actually think because of the introduction of dual ink cards, we're even getting further away from the viability of monocolor decks being viable. And I think you could create a fun one in Infinity, but whether or not it'll ever be competitive, I just don't think that's something in the cards for the game design.
Okay, let me lead you into the way that I thought. I mean, I agree. I'm not surprised with how you answered it. I do agree with that. I don't think I would ever play a monocolor unless it was some kind of challenge. If you did play a monocolor, what one would it be currently?
Amethyst. Next question.
That's exactly what I told Gary you would say. I was like, if it is, Andy's gonna say play Amethyst.
If it ain't Amethyst, you ain't trying. Okay, I guess if we're talking like different metas and stuff, like there might be different considerations and like rotation, but in Infinity format, with every card I've ever seen that has been created from the game of Disney Lorcana as part of my card pool, Amethyst is the one that I would play.
Yeah. All right. Vince, did you have a color? I guess we can just ride that real quick. What color would you play?
I mean, Amethyst.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Andy on this. In fact, I would say a color you shouldn't absolutely not play in monocolor is Sapphire.
Lost you entirely.
We didn't
hear
Sapphire.
Oh, Sapphire.
Yeah, I think that would be the worst.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next question from Lucas. He asks, what's a card you don't want to play in your deck, but you feel obligated to for one reason or another? I told him when he asked this question, my answer is easy. It's a Pirate's Life. I hate that card, but I understand its value. And it does what it's supposed to do, and that is get you a bunch of lore, more lore with the shark on the board, and ticks off your opponent. So
you've played it?
Yeah, I've played it. I've been playing it this week.
Oh man, I can't wait to get to our main segment then. This card is, I think, very meta dependent. In the new upcoming Fabled meta, I have no idea, but in past metas, some examples I've thought of are Iago is a big one that I hated having to play Iago. I felt he was like not a great card to play, very easily answered if they really wanted to. If they were really afraid of Iago, they could have a very easy answer for it. And like it just doesn't do much. You obviously are competing with things like Genie and Rabbit. At the same time, Genie was also in that spot. I was kind of like, I don't want to play Genie. I'd rather be playing Rabbit because I'd rather be bouncing and playing and bouncing and playing and getting even more cards than Genie will ever bring me. I don't need the extra lore. So it's very meta dependent in my opinion, but for some reason 4-cost Amethyst cards seem to all be the ones that I find are annoying that I have to play, and I do play, but I just kind of don't like them when I play them.
I completely agree with Iago. What about you, Vince?
My answer is Flynn Rider Frenemy when I was a big Ruby Amethyst player.
Good answer.
That that was actually a kind of a fun video idea, doing like a survey says
Family Feud,
Lorcana, Family Feud. But yeah, I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. It's a card that I felt was kind of necessary in that deck, but man, it just felt like the worst of all possible worlds, because you really had to build your deck around that card in order for it to work. And if it worked, you won the game, and there were plenty of times where it worked against you, and you spent a lot of time trying to get it to work in your deck.
It's like he's your friend and your enemy. Crazy.
Yep. Wow. I know.
Crazy how that works out. All right, moving. What's that?
Sorry, I was trying to segue us to the next one. What else we
No,
got in
you're
the
good.
bag, Brad?
From from John, he asks, you have been given the ability to pick one card from Fable that you will 100% pull from the first pack you open. What is that card?
My answer, without question, is Bell, Accomplished Mystic, Enchanted.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, like, I tried to game the system and say, like, okay, I'm gonna pull 12 of the same card in my pack because it's like one card, right? But like 12 times because there's 12 of them in a pack. You wouldn't let me. I mean, the iconic is the easy answer here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I am a I am an admitted packaholic, if you will. I'll buy packs until the shelves are bare, if you will. So for me, like, getting the hard ones out of the way first is probably the best. So I like the Mickey a little more than the Minnie. So I'd probably say the Mickey Mouse, iconic.
Same.
Yep, I naturally went to the iconic Mickey as well. I tried to ask him before I did this. I'm like, "Are you including Enchanteds?" Because I feel like we're all just going to say we could just count down and all say the iconic Mickey. If we had Kirsten on this week, you guys could game the system and say Mickey and Minnie, and then you get both of them, right? So, but yeah, if that's out of the question, if we have to go down to Enchanteds, mine would be the Scar. I just gotta, I love Scar, as everybody who listens here knows that. So that one is basically my chase. But the Enchanted this set are so good. It could be any Enchanted, and I would be happy with it because it's just they look so good.
For sure.
Really, really do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really feel like this was the set that kind of knocked it out of the park. And I really do. I do like that Mickey iconic. Just partly because one of my favorite cards in Disney Lorcana itself is the Brave Little Tailor.
Yeah.
And when you use his shift ability, he becomes the Brave Little Tailor, which kind of makes sense because he's the Brave Little Prince.
Yep.
Which is kind of cute. Yeah.
Is it the same stat line?
He has the same stat lines as Brave Little Tailor.
As long as
Nice.
there's a
when
card
you shift
underneath them. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
And for those, before we move on to the last question here, I'll just say is Andy's not joking about the fact that he's a packaholic. Andy and Kirsten don't have a retirement fund or any 4K savings whatsoever. They are totally reliant on finding enchanteds and packs of cards.
What are you talking about?
In fact, I'm pretty sure
this is my 401k, baby. This is my 401k. These babies are going to be worth so much. Look at this gold. This is gold. It's gold, Vince. Golden. Look
To
at that.
the audio listeners, he's holding up at least
College.
20 Lilo promos from the gift boxes.
That's my first kid's college. That's my second kid's college. Look at this. That's my retirement.
Those are going to be
Easy.
Elsa's pretty soon.
yeah, they will be also.
Yeah, they will
In fact,
be
they
Elsa.
probably already pre-ordered.
As many as we were
Elsa.
allowed on
Those-
Target.com.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those
probably.
are available. Yeah.
Hashtag not an
all right.
ad.
Next question.
All right, last question is also from John. He asked, "We have the following big tourneys of Fabled column. The first, wow, let's start over,
Everybody
Brad.
gets one.
Well, this is my fifth. We have the first big tourneys of Fabled coming up this weekend, which will definitely help shape the competitive meta in the coming weeks and possibly into the first DLC. From a competitive perspective, what is the biggest thing you hope to learn from these tournaments? Ink prevalence, deck colors, conversion rates, particular cards, archetypes, etc." I just want to know what to play. And what to play against, or like what am I going to be building against? Honestly, before I start thinking so deeply about it, like of course the ink colors are like the breakdown of what combos made the top cut. All this stuff is going to be interesting, but I going back to earlier, I have no idea what to play. I want to see some cool things that people cooked up, in the weeks leading up to Fabled, having all the cards available. I know Mikey Hazed on Twitter is teasing something really cool coming up pretty soon. I think I don't know where he's playing at, but he hasn't revealed his list. But he's the pioneer of Jaflurple, and I know I've been looking at we're playing versions of his decks for the last set and a half or so. So people have cool things planned. I'm really curious to see what they are, and then how I can tweak them and how make them fit my play style. And yeah, I'm in a place right now. I need to figure out what to play, what I'm going to be up against, which looks like a lot of aggro, if early signs are any indicator, and how to compete with that, because we don't have we don't have board wipes anymore. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm very, very curious. What about you guys?
Eh.
I mean, I think a lot of what you said. I'm mostly curious about, like what the overall meta looks like in this first one, and by that I really just mean what ink combinations, what they're doing well, just to kind of get an initial impression. But I also would just tell folks to not take these first weekend too seriously. This is always just going to be the initial part of the meta. And this is one of the kind of, I'll say, good things. And, if you're going to take a little bit of silver lining from the fact that we don't have certain like online clients right anymore, is that we're going to see the meta develop in person, and we're going to develop over the next few weeks, and you don't get, millions of games being played and the meta being solved kind of, the first week. So we do see that there's going to be a lot of adjustments. So I'm going to take those lessons from what we see at CCS or, these other tournaments, and including, the tournament that we're going to, that's going to inform, I think, the local meta, which is actually probably more relevant to the things that I'm most concerned about, because I really want to get a Maleficent playmat. Not really because I want the playmat, but because I want to have trade fodder for that 2025 convention playmat. And so that's really, I think, initially what I'm looking for, is just kind of the initial lay of the land to see where we're starting. But if folks are correct, which they may well be, that aggro is the dominant decks, which I actually kind of suspect that's not going to be the case if I were to guess. Partly because I think everybody suspects that it's going to be, and therefore are building decks to go against aggro. But we'll see. It's anybody's guess what could be. I think we got some inklings already of what people are testing based on what other content creators are putting out and other competitive players are talking about. But yeah, I'm excited. I am very excited, actually. Andy, what about you?
I kind of feel like we really need to let the meta develop. Obviously, every tournament's going to be its own meta game that is influenced by the previous tournaments that we've had. And the first one is probably going to be one of the more spicy ones. I don't know who Brad was talking about, but I've seen other people say the same thing, that like, I've got this crazy list I'm bringing to wherever. Like, okay, bro, like, let's see. Oh, wait, it's, Frank Karsten's list from TCG Player that, with 2 cards changed. Wow. But, I'm really just looking for some fun, enjoyable, Lorcana. I'm going to copy a lot of those decks to just like test them out and see how they go and build from them, because meta games are iterative like that. But, we still have it's just very, very early on, right? Like Vince said, the meta game is very, very early on. You have to let it stew and simmer and, boil down, if you will.
Yep. All right. Yeah. That's our last question, Brad?
That's the last question for this week. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. If you would like your questions answered here in Constituents Corner, you can join our Discord at the Constituents Corner channel. A link in the description for that, or the comments on this video, or anywhere on our socials at Rules of Villainy. We'd be happy to answer anything you have for us.
All right. And the main segment, we're going to talk about Fabled, of course. what decks have we been thinking about potentially playtesting and talking about. And I'm gonna kick it off to Brad first to start with.
If this episode was any indicator, I have no idea.
What were you
I
testing today? I saw you.
Yeah, I was playing a Sapphire Ruby down in New Orleans deck that Ron sent me.
What?
Sapphire Ruby.
Yeah, it's
Shark.
it's goofy. Yeah, it's got shark. It's goofy. Yep. Shark. No Tamatoa. There's no items in it. It's
Lilo?
nope. It's. I mean, I can go down the list if you want. It's created by Poisonous on
What's the idea?
Dream Board. You can find it.
Rundown.
You I'm blinking at the moment. The actions are there's like 28 actions in there. Turn 1 develop, turn 2 ramp, turn 3 the Robin Hood sharpshooter is the MVP to getting the actions out there, and then you play Rhea the turn that you quest him so you can ready him back up, and then the shark comes out, you continue the Robin Hood shenanigans and then get the extra lore from the shark and the recursion from the shark when you challenge with him. So I mean, down in New Orleans. What's that?
But no Lilo.
It needs to have Lilo, for sure. It needs to have a lot more early board presence as well. Besides Tipo, it just doesn't really find its place. Like I remember you tonight. Even you came in when I was playing Vince, and I knew what card you were talking about based on the strength or whatever. No Medusa being there for the genie that Vince currently has in his Blurple. But there was a great turn where I was able to. It was the turn that the genie would have quested. The next turn, he had Tipo, Rafiki, and Genie unexerted, and I was able to get rid of the whole board because of the B King Undisputed. But
3 B Kings in one turn?
No. I was able to challenge and ready up with Rhea and whatever, and then sing B King Undisputed on the unexerted Genie. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because that, like you guys were talking about earlier, that Genie is fantastic and has been for a while. He was in my Jaflurple, but we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, this deck it's fine, but when you're playing matches like Blurple or playing aggro even, it is hard to keep that shark on board. Because Hades, by the time you get shark out, he's probably on his turn to play Hades as the common shark counter there, right? And then the early board presence from aggro, I have nothing to deal with all of that. I was able to get 2 games to 1 on Andy's Emerald aggro on Monday, but because on game 2 I was able to chain a ton of actions to maximize the shark lore, and on game 3 he basically just bricked, right? But what I found out is going to be really, really annoying, and why I'm thinking about the next deck I'm going to talk about is that at one point in the second game with Andy, he decided with all of his 2 questers and 3 questers that he could be questing with. He just decided, I don't need to. This is a red-blue deck that I don't have be prepared in. I can just put win on board and then quest everything at once. And thankfully, I was able to find answers to win the game before he could do that. But it became a situation where I'm like, wow, I can't diddle daddle anymore and do things. Blue Sapphire Ruby, which I never really play, has no chance against a board like that. So now, on my way home from Fortuna tonight, I'm thinking, maybe it's finally time to bust out the Ruby Steel, because there's so many ways to challenge ready characters, but with the Mulan package and all that other stuff and the things that enable that. So that's on my mind. Of course, Blurple is always on the mind. I said last week.
You have forgotten me, says Blurple.
No. I'm gonna get there. I want to see what cards I get. Usually I don't start heavily dialing in on what I'm going to play until I know I have the cards. And yes, I know you guys are great. You're great in lending cards and everything and all that, but most of the time it's I don't even know what I have. So here's the ideas that I like. Maybe I'll cook this up. Maybe I won't get those cards. I couldn't even play Alex's blue-red from Impact last set because I never had any Tinkerbells until the only Tinkerbells that I own, you guys gave to me. Eventually. So I have 2 Tinkerbells, and she's kind of a pivotal part of that build. So I'm rambling now, but those
you don't
2
need them, Brad. You don't need them, Brad. Blurple. I just realized the list I have for Blurple that I've been testing out and looking at doesn't have any new cards from set 9. I probably should experiment with that Dumbo. That card is pretty dumb.
Oh,
Dun, dun.
But
Yeah.
no, I mean, like, Blurple's just really, really strong right now. I think aggro is always going to exist. I'll be curious to see if there is a consistent sort of play line and game pattern for aggro that allows them to win a decent percentage of the time. Something like a Diggy or a Kiwi Birds, which allowed those sort of more curve out decks, but aggro. Because right now, if Amber Steel opens like Daisy turn 1 and then like Rhino Daisy and then like Tiana and then like Pluto Exert Tiana and just like Quest, like, I mean, like, you can't win that game no matter what deck you're playing. Especially with something like Be Prepared out of the game. So, it's the like more average times, a more reasonable matchup that you have there. Can those aggro decks actually be consistently good, even if they only have like an average hand, and that's where I think it'll matter. It'll play into what kind of decks you have to play. Blurple does an okay job into the like hyper aggro, or the super fast aggro.
I don't know. I rebuilt my entire Blurple deck from Monday to today because Andy's like kind of like churn a dog shit. I mean, just wrecked. Like I just could not stabilize in order to, like I didn't have
Rafiki
enough.
And
I wasn't playing Rafiki at the time.
Oh, Octopus and Rafiki are really good.
Yeah. So I added both of those. I took some other cards out. Like I was playing a much more like kind of ramp heavy deck. So I had Develop as a 1-drop in there. Develop's no longer in the deck anymore. So I was kind of really focusing on
later
that
game.
early game. Yeah, the later game, and really ignoring the early game, and as a result, like really, really suffered against aggro. And so I rebuilt the deck for a more early aggressive, or at least a the ability to respond. So
you can go like Rafiki and then like Sail and then another Rafiki or a Royal Guard, and then the following turn you can play like a Genie, and then if they hit you with like something like a Tiana or a Bodyguard, you can sing the Into the Unknown on that character, and then use your Rafikis and your Royal Guard to try and take them out. It's still not great, right? Like triple Daisy, even double Daisy is just like almost a death sentence.
Yeah, very, 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 very challenging.
I haven't seen that.
I added.
Sorry, Brad.
No, I was gonna say I was just gonna add real quick. I added Hypnotic Strength to my deck, which I actually think is like is it replaces itself. You get to draw a card. You get Challenger +2, so it's an easy way to add to something like the Rafiki or the Royal Guard to take out something like a Rhino.
It's really good into the Octopus, because the Octopus it basically gives +3 too, right? Because the draw card gives it +1 and the strength gives it +2.
Yep.
Plus the 1 off the turn, so it's a 5/2
it's
now.
It's a 5/2, yeah, which is kind of wild. Sorry, Brad, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. I was just going to add an anecdote to our match tonight. I haven't seen that Rafiki in so long. I forgot he was Challenger 3. I thought he was just Challenger 2. So I misplayed on one turn where he was able to take out. I thought my Robin Hood was safe instead of readying him up with inking something that I think it was Pirate's Life or something in my hand that I was saving for the next turn, where I easily could have readied him up, but I thought he was safe in the time being. And then when you showed me that the Rafiki was Challenger 3, I was like, oh man, I forgot. It's been so long since I've seen that be a turn 1 on any purple purple deck, and then later on there something else that I did too. But that one was the one that I was like, oh gosh, dang it, I should have known better than to do that.
Give you flashbacks to the Airbnb at the Atlanta DLC with Hunter
Yeah,
of Boo Hunter fame playing Rafiki, and us doubly naming the Rafiki something that we can't repeat on air.
I don't even
giving it-
remember. Yeah,
we gave it a very not friendly, not mouse friendly name. We did not like Rafiki that day.
Yeah.
He was really annoying.
Yeah. I
Don't ask
added a
it.
one. Go on.
I was gonna say don't make a listener question what was that name, because I'm guessing we will not answer that.
We will not answer
Well,
that
I mean,
question.
I don't
I'll
even
answer
remember.
it for you, but you just won't hear it. It'll be
Yeah.
beeped out. So like, it really
Well,
doesn't help
I
you.
will
No,
actually
that's-
say
I shouldn't have drawn any
you-
more attention.
if
to it.
you're a subscriber of our highest Patreon tier, we will exclusively answer that question. But then and only then. Because I will say, much like I know DKP does, everybody has a price.
I don't know. He said he doesn't have a price right now.
You know what? He says that, but I promise you, somebody walks up and says like
$1 million.
Yeah, you think he's like, nah?
No, he said
never
nah.
mind.
He said nah to $1 million. He said even if it was $1 million, if you got, he said when I met him, he said if I got $1 million offer for my golden Nikki, I would say no.
I
Just saying.
but anyway, I was gonna say I have a one of though in my Blurple deck, which I'm curious to see what you think of this, Andy.
Jank.
Because yeah, I figured that's exactly what he would say without saying it. But I have a one of Louisa Magical Strong One.
The 4/8 like quest for 3.
No,
The four,
Four,
the
three.
fourth, no, the 4/3.
Oh, the rush.
rush.
Yeah,
I mean,
if Fox is gone, I feel like she's.
it's not a bad option. The biggest problem I have is that I really want 4 genies and 4 genies. So
Yeah,
and all of those are uninkable, and that doesn't include 4 Hades, which I also would like to have in the deck. And then I feel like there's other uninkables that I want in the deck.
I don't think you need
Elsa.
four
Big
of each
Elsa.
genie.
so I
I like drawing
replaced-
cards a lot, Brad. I like drawing cards almost as much as I like opening packies. I'm just saying.
So I run 3 of the supportive friends and in 1 of the Luisas, but I run 4 of the other genies.
I'd almost
what is
flip flop it, honestly.
Wish
I
fulfilled.
I would. What
you
does
think about
Louisa? Quest for 2?
no quest for 1.
I would
Quest
just
for
run.
one.
I would run
Small.
Rafiki then. The Mystic Shaman that's a quest for 2 and has Challenger 4 on play.
Entry, but it's
yeah, he's
rush
a-
as well.
Yeah,
4 cost uninkable. That's probably a better card. You're honestly right. I like that, Brad. Quest for 2 is really nice. It's a 1/4 on the crackback, right? But
right. Yeah, he'll never have a Challenger again. It's only on play, but it's a good spice card to have in there for a heavy hit. And if he survives Quest for 2 on the next play.
But either way, I think drawing cards is the most important thing, and that supportive friend is just like so good in the meta right now. I mean, think about it like this: in every game of Lorcana, every time you draw a card, it's like a mini booster pack that you're opening in the game, and you get to look at the card and go, "I got it, enchanted Tabatoa. Too bad I have no popsicles in my discard." But you get to draw off the top, and I mean, 3 cards is just so broken. And this is happening on your turn 4. Your turn 4, you get all 5 ink that you'll have, and 3 new cards into your hand. It's like the biggest Chernobog's follower. It's the whole bog, honestly.
The whole bog.
The whole
Well,
dang bog.
My counterpoint to this on why I play the 4 genies in the evasive genie versus the draw genie is because of Dumbo and the ability to draw the card, gain a lore ability with its evasive. So
You don't want to.
Yeah.
That's a weird
Okay.
trade-off, though. I thought about that before.
I don't
like,
play Dumbo on my list though.
Yeah, Dumbo.
Right.
I wouldn't do that on the 2 quester unless you really need the cards, because then you're sacrificing one lore for a card, which is nice. And again, I don't have the experience of playing Dumbo to see how it feels yet, but I feel like that Dumbo effect you're using on Iago, if you're playing it, you're using it on
Yep.
the Elsa Fifth Spirit, and
Yep.
then anything that the Magic Feather can give evasive to. That those are your targets for that. If you have a 2 quester with Genie, I would just quest with that.
I saw
maybe
Team Your
I don't know
Breakfast
yet.
playing Amethyst Steel on Amethyst Steel list he was testing out. It had
Yeah.
Helga Sinclair,
Evasive on turn.
0/4 Challenger
Yeah.
3, evasive on your turn. Evasive on your turn means it has evasive on your turn, which
Yeah.
means you can pay 1 and exert it and gain 1 lore and draw a card. So even evasive on your turn cards, Jafar,
Cruella.
Yep. Yeah, we've seen those.
Robin Hood.
And having
He
that
quests
3 challenge and that 3 strength means that it can take out something like a Dumbo. You play an Elsa and you swing in with that character, because Dumbo can definitely be really good. But honestly, I really, really like the strategy of just like playing characters, questing, drawing cards, playing more characters. Like Blurple seems to have a really nice amount of removal for regular characters, unexerteds, hard to deal with characters. It seems really, really nice. I'm kind of on Team Blurple at this point. We'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm really loving the draw Genie. That is, except for that one match with Brad where he was able to remove it with a B King. I've been able every single time I've played it.
So he
I've been able to
challenged
draw
and
cards.
double B King'd you?
Um,
I think that's how. I don't remember. I definitely beat King the Genie, and then I had a way to get rid of both characters that were exerted, the Rafiki and the Tipo.
well,
Yeah.
I think I don't exactly.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember every detail of every game. It's like one of my good buddies.
The other.
Go ahead.
No, go on.
No, I was just say I was gonna just give another anecdote about my memory of like I used to play a lot more poker than I do now, and my buddy, he remembers every single big hand of his, and like once I'm past that hand, or he'll ask me later on after something, hey, what happened in that one hand? I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's been several hours and hands between them, and so it just I had a memory or a never mind.
I do really need to get. It's a good point though.
I need to go back. To
I do
sleep.
think I need to get better at reminding myself that when practicing, you're allowed to take notes.
Yeah.
And that I should do better to take notes so that I can remind myself on decisions I've made to see if they were the right decisions to go back, to get better at any individual match.
That's what's great when we record our games, when we go back and watch our live streams. It's a great tool to go back and be like, oh, what could I have done differently here? And those decision points and realizing, especially when you see what happened in the late. I mean, it also dictates what happens later in the game, but you can kind of get a feeling of like, well, if I would have done this instead, knowing what he has at this moment, like it could have, ultimately worked in my favor. But live and learn.
I think a good thing is like recording post game notes, because notes during the game can develop a bad habit, because if you rely on those notes during the game, now that's something you shouldn't have in the game. It's kind of like that idea of playing with open hands, where it can be very beneficial, but at the same time, like if you aren't able to adjust your sort of subconscious bias that says like, well, now I see they have that card, so obviously I wouldn't be playing this card for my hand, right? Like if you can't get past that, then it becomes bad practice, right? So
I think it's important to write the notes as you do them, but maybe not review them.
So
not look
either
look
write
at
them and then put them away as you're going, just like don't review them during the game. Or another one, we've seen it with other, I've seen it several times where they have like these like notebooks that like after the game is over, you immediately fill out like this survey, like,
Yeah.
how was your experience in this game of Lorcana? Tell us what it was like. And it's like,
Yeah.
I lost the dice roll. It's true that. And then they had a Prince John, so that was a problem. And like, it's but having all that information and being able to act on it later is really, really valuable.
Yeah. I would just remind folks that humans' memory isn't as good as I think a lot of people think that it is.
Perfect.
We're very unreliable narrators. Kind of wild that we underpin our entire legal system on human memory, but that's a podcast within a podcast within a podcast for another day. So I would just say, like, for me, I know that 100% I will be done with a round, and I will 100% think about that game in a different way, even right after I play it, than what actually happens. Like, I just know that I'm not a reliable narrator of my own games. And I, like Brad said, he talks about not being able to remember a hand hours later. I will 100% forget exactly what I did turn 1 by the time we're done with game 3 of that 3-game series. Like, I won't be like, I don't know what I did. I'll remember. Justin asked me once I was on Monday, why I altered a very specific card. And I was like, I don't know, man. I did. I don't know what my reasoning was. I had a reason. It's gone now.
But it's good though that he asked you that, right? Because now you're thinking about, maybe I should have put more thought into that card, because like the reason being was like maybe you thought about it incorrectly, and his insight would have been like, if you think about it this way, at this point, he's given me, like Monday night, he gave me a lot of ways that I didn't think about it, where like it didn't feel good at one point, because he was like, this is what I would do, and I'm like, but if I do this, then it takes away like a character on board on this turn and yada yada. But like his reasoning made sense, in the sense that like okay, I see your thought pattern. I'm not used to thinking that way, so it doesn't feel right. But ultimately, like, it was the right call, and I'm like, okay, I have a new like thought line when thinking about this kind of interaction here. And so it was really, really interesting, because I straight up told him, like, this doesn't feel good, but I'm going to take your word for it, like, because I never thought about it that way, and it worked out. And Ron got really mad because, Ron goes, I showed Brad this deck and he's beating my butt with it. I'm like, I'm sorry. And then tonight was just not good with it. But that's how it.
Another deck though, before we move on, I just want to talk a little bit about, because I know, especially Andy, you really like the color matching, which is Ruby Amethyst. So I built Moyen's deck on Ruby Amethyst. You think it's unplayable?
No, I'm joking.
Oh,
it is getting worse.
He built a deck that was very built around the Dumbo in Evasive. So it has cards like Vanellope von Schweetz,
Pegasus.
Pegasus, Sisu. Actually, I don't know if it has the Pegasus.
Well, that's the Vanellope is the Pegasus, same thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, fair.
I've seen this. I've tested against it a little bit. It's mid. I like Blurple more. Honestly. It just
Karsten. So what
Karsten's
what are we gonna have?
Has the scar in it, and a lot of the evasives as well.
Yeah, the 4/2 scar, that quest for 3. Yeah, I played again. I've tested against this, and it just Blurple felt better, honestly. Like
you've heard it here, folks. Ruby, get out of the way. We've got Sapphire, the Amethyst Dragon.
Ruby just didn't really bring as much to the table. I mean, if you think about it, like, it doesn't have, it just doesn't bring the removal that Blurple has. I mean, Blurple has Hades, it has the Into the Unknown, it has the Elsa for the Exertion, which obviously Ruby Amethyst can have as well. But just the ramp to be able to get there quicker, I don't know. I think we're living in a Blurple world. I'm Blurple Dabba Dee Dabba Die.
I am just a blurple girl.
In a blurple world.
Yeah.
And with that, is there anything else you want to add?
Karsten also has the elephant. I might play this deck once or twice.
Yeah, I definitely want a big shout out to Frank Karsten. His lists, he has 15 of them, one for every single ink color on his TCG Player article. They are
Link in the description.
Yeah, Brad will put the link in the description. Thanks, Brad. But they're not like lists to win your 1K with, but he has a lot of really good inspiration and a couple blurbs about each list to let you know what he's thinking. And they were a lot of the sort of starting inspiration for, even if I looked at a list on an ink combination that I wanted to try and do, and I looked at Carson's and I went, ew, I want none of this. Like, even that meant that, like, okay, well, now I just look at the opposite cards of what, I want to do it the other way. So if this is, it's still a great reference point to start with. So definitely check it out.
It's really cool.
100%.
If I can add one more anecdote before we move on, Vince, that we talked
No,
about in
you
the
can't.
Discord today. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to.
joking. No,
Now,
go.
a couple sets ago, Arcasia's Island, one of his lists, he did 8 decks for the start. It's just really good insight, not to repeat Andy too much, but a good starting point to get you an idea of how you want to play the game. Every single deck has an identity. Like the one I brought up on the Discord today was the Emerald Sapphire identity, which is all Floodborn, and all kinds of ways to utilize the Floodborn keyword based on the cards. Like, you play a Floodborn character, you draw a card. You play the Yokai allows you to play Floodborn characters for 1 less to shift, things like that. So it's a great way to figure out what your flavor of the game is. And it just shout out to Karsten, like Andy said, for putting together this great list. Because if you don't see you have to find at least one deck on here that you do like and want to build around, because I did it for Arcasia's Island with his Jafar wheel, had a blast with it, and I'm sure that I could take one of these decks and roll with it and be moderately successful throughout these opening weeks of the of Fabled, because it's Frank Karsten for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
He's just
If you're
so
listening, Frank, we would love to have you on the podcast. We would, we can all build a deck together.
And
Where
it
you
will
can
be-
go
Andy will very specifically go over the hypergeometric.
I was going to say, we'll make sure that it's all 3 of us, so we don't let Andy fall into that trap of all hypergeometric math for an hour and a half.
I just
Which,
really
if
want
you want to go
him to help
see
Brad.
more of, you can go listen to our live stream on Saturday, where Andy went into hypergeometric math as we talked about odds of getting very specific cards. And with that, let's move on to
Villain of the set.
and
never gets old.
Never gets better
and it
either.
will. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to like it, Andy. But we sent polls out to you for all of the nominees that we had, and the nominees were Goofy, Groundbreaking Chef, Rhino, Power Hamster, Yen Sid, Disney Backwards,
Powerful sorcerer.
Maurice's it's Disney Backwards, Maurice's Workshop, Giant Cobra, Ghostly Serpent, Lewis, Endearing Alligator, Ariel, Spectacular Singer, Under the Sea, Lady,
Under
Family
the
Dog,
sea.
Baby, it's better.
Hades, Infernal Schemer, Popsicle, Dump Truck,
Dump truck.
Dump truck. Get dump truck.
Yeah.
and the winner is
Dump truck.
Oh,
No,
you're asking me?
We're asking
you were gonna say
we don't know
the winner,
because we're
Brad.
the only one that knows the winner.
It better be dump truck.
It's not dump truck, but for some reason now the form is not showing me the results. I promise you, I
It's
know
dump
what
truck.
they are.
This is
not
dump
dump
truck
truck.
suppression. All right, listen, guys.
with
Everyone, go
12
down in the chat.
Up
Go
the
in
count!
the
Up
comments.
the count!
Go in the
12
comments and say dump
responses.
truck should have won.
Rigged.
I-
This election is rigged.
I don't have the percentages here, but I do know that 12 responses were picked for drum roll Rhino Power Hamster, somewhere in the 40th percentile. Rhino, the beefy
I thought for
hamster.
sure it would have been popsicle. Thought for sure it would have been popsicle.
Popsicle
Who
was
in
one
second?
of the lowest ones.
What?
I don't know why it's not showing me the percentages here when I click responses.
Well, what about, like,
here we go. Now it
responses?
is. Now it is. Here we
Okay.
go. 44.4% at Rhino Power Hamster. Next highest was 18.5% with 5 votes, Lady Family Dog. Following that at 14.8%, 4 votes, largely probably due to the last couple of votes here. Dump truck.
Dump truck. Let's go. Let's go. Get
And
dumped.
and the last percentage in the double digits was 11.1 with 3 votes. Under the Sea.
Onto the
But
sea.
Yeah.
Commanding win for Rhino Power Hamster. Thank you everybody who voted. We had 27 votes for this villain of the set. I think that's the most votes we've had in the 3 or 4 times that we've done this. So thank you everybody who participated. We're about to raffle off a lore book. Every entry gets or every vote gets an entry into the raffle here, and I got a website pulled up right now to generate
gonna
that
win.
number. I
got it.
I
I'm
took
gonna
you
win.
out. No, I took all 3 of us out of that. But so 24 people are in the list, all 1 through 24 in Excel, and I have the min and max set at 124 on random.org and generating the number now. It is number 19, which I'm not going to dox the person's email because that's the only way that I got the information this time for some reason. It is going to be Sebastian, who I believe is in our Discord. I'm not going to give the full email,
Yes!
but I will
Sebastian,
email you
let's
to let you
go.
know that you won. And congratulations. Thank you so much for being a part of this and look forward to the future of Villain of the Set. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking.
Shout
Yo,
out,
you-
Sebastian.
are
Let's
we-
go. Congratulations.
Honestly, I do think this is a good card to choose. The Rhino has been frustrating. It's especially frustrating in like a more aggro decks when they're able to, shift on 3 or 2, right?
On
They're
2.
shift on
Shift on
2
2.
with that, which is wild. So I will just say this is definitely a contender of a card that I would love to see get rotated out of the format a year from now.
Bye. Bye.
without a doubt.
Bye.
But what he got, he
Uh,
actually, in a way, got kind of nerfed this set because, you can shift him on 2, and he's hard to deal with on 2. But he can
And
no
Zeus
longer
is
sing
gone.
along. Came Zeus. Zeus is gone. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, but Zeus is gone. Zeus was the answer to him, and now Zeus is gone.
Fair.
D-Prep
Fair. I mean,
is gone.
yeah.
Let it go. Gone.
Well, he
Dragonfire
just doesn't sing as
gone.
much. Yeah. You can Hades him in a
Yeah.
few turns. double ramp, double ramp after request for 6, and then there.
Yeah,
Sure,
double
you
round
throw
with my
2
how far I'll go. Right. Let me just use my
Yeah.
how far.
Yeah,
I'll
that's-
go.
yeah,
What?
I just
just play snail
it's
a few times.
it's a
Play a
hard
bunch of
card
T-pose,
to
have no
remove.
hard.
It's a hard card to remove with the 2 resist when he has no damage.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's just the
Mosquito bite.
real problem. Wait,
Lot
what
of-
does mosquito bite do?
It's
Put a
put,
damage counter on
it's
something.
not a deal damage.
Uh,
And that's
Yeah,
where I
it's
think
good.
Ruby Amethyst, though, there's a lot of tools in Ruby Amethyst to
Yeah.
move damage over to that Rhino. The problem is you're going to have to let him get 2 to 6 lore before you could probably fully do it, or crash somebody into it. But
but yeah, but I'm
Wow.
excited. We're moving into an entire new season of Villain of the Week as we move on next week to new villains in Fabled, and I'm pretty excited to see what we decide.
It's
are the
Rhino
villains, and
again.
maybe what
Spoiler
I don't
you
know.
alert.
decide.
Rhino again.
can we?
Can we what, Brad? What?
I don't know
Yeah,
how I
you
did
can.
that.
Yeah.
I don't
Can
know
we
how I
what?
did that. Can we do Villain of the Week next week? Because it's going to be the first week, but we're not going to have any tournaments or anything to gauge.
There's a launch weekend tournament. SSD,
Yeah, we got
I believe, is
Okay,
having
okay, so that's where Hayes is playing.
Also-
We didn't mention that one
also-
earlier in this episode. So
Rhino.
and not only
Villain of the
that
Week
though.
again.
we've also got this thing called Limited, and we've got Sealed,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they're going to generate some
Villainous
annoying
characters.
villain cards for us to deal with.
Yeah.
So I
Awesome.
think we're all set. And you know what? If all else fails, we'll just get what was it? Is it John Silver with the new rule of villainy?
Yeah.
That's fair.
And he could be our first villain.
What's funny is he'd be the first repeated villain because we did him after Seattle when he came up.
Yeah, when he had that deck.
We didn't have a really good one for the week, but that locations deck really popped off in Seattle, and it was a great time to bring John Silver on and talk about him because he is a good card when you're running locations and can get all that resist from him. But we'll save that talk in case we do use him again because he is a rule of villainy now. I mean, at some point they should all be on there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yep. But let us know your thoughts on the villain of the set here. Although you did vote for them, but maybe you didn't choose the victor. So you can let us know in the comments. And we hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you're joining us on audio, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
And if you're joining us on YouTube, which if you're not, you really should. We have a ton of fun over here. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Smash that like button. And be sure to tune into all of the other fun events that we have here on our YouTube.
Watch this be the only thing I get right tonight. We understand your time is valuable, so we appreciate you spending a little bit of it with us. If you would like to follow along as we plot our devious plans, consider following us on our socials. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, and the platform formerly known as Twitter @Rules of Villainy. And we also have a growing community on Discord in which you can join with the link below.
And until next week, stay safe, fellow villains. Be wary of wannabe heroes who want to disrupt your villainous plans. And as always, remember the rules of villainy.